Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Sudevaya. Okay, so I will see the second chapter. Okay, the title of the chapter is different titles are used by different acharyas. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur uses Sankhya Yoga, and Srila Prabhupada has used the title Contents of Gita Summarized. So because in the second chapter, it's one of the longest. Okay, it is one of the longest chapter. It's 72 verses. And it starts with Arjuna's dilemma and surrender, and then Krishna first time starts speaking. Of course, in the first chapter, we have seen Krishna tells Arjuna, Pashya Partha, just see Partha, all the Kauravas assembled here. That's it, right? But that was told by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra. So this time, in the second chapter, Krishna actually first time starts speaking. And the second chapter is touching all the aspects of Bhagavad Gita. So actually we get what's going to come in Bhagavad Gita, right? So like knowledge about soul, then Karma Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga, then Nishkam Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga. All these details are given in the second chapter. Okay, so today we'll see verse 1 to 30. Considering we discussed that, okay, let's take till 30, because that is one set of understanding or set of verses that go together, and then after that there are different set of for different yoga, like Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, right? So let us see till 30 today. So I will go with anybody who wants to share what they understand, what is the second chapter, or at least not complete second chapter, but at least till 30. What is the understanding and what we can learn from these first 30 verses? So anybody would like to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Madhuri.
Actually, last class I wasted time. So first I want to hear from you on the land and understand better. If time left, I want to talk. But I read the chapter, verse 1 to 30, as you said, I studied and came. But I want to hear from you. It will be nice. Because time is not enough, means we are not able to hear whatever you want to tell. Just me telling it is not good, I felt.
No, it's fine, because this keeps the discussion on. But like, okay, it's 9:10, so I can just summarize in short time, okay, and then we can discuss together. Okay, so this second chapter, right? It's very interesting chapter, how the flow goes, right, in the second chapter. And first 10 verses, actually, like if we see where the first chapter ended, like Arjuna sat on the Ratha, right? And he said, Krishna, I cannot fight. It's difficult for me to fight. And so we have to remember that Bhagavad Gita is a continuous conversation. So we see this chapter 1 and 2, but on the battlefield, like it was not like, okay, Sanjay said, like Arjuna spoke and he sat down. This ends the chapter first. Not like that, right? It was a continuous conversation. So Sanjay was saying that Arjuna sat down, and then second chapter starts with a continuation, right? Sanjay said. So it's a continuation what Sanjay was saying. Okay, Sanjay sat down, And then he was full of compassion and he was confused, his eyes having tear. And then he says, okay, then Arjuna starts speaking. And then uh, Krishna says, like, then Krishna and Arjuna's conversation starts, right? So, most of the verses in Bhagavad Gita is the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. And Arjuna, being a perfect listener, uh, he puts on the questions whenever he hear uh, something that needs more clarification. Right. So when we study Bhagavad Gita, we have to remember that the conversation is going on, and if the question is asked, uh, then say at particular verse, we see suddenly it starts like Arjuna speak, and Arjuna asks the question. So we have to remember where the topic stopped, because after answering Arjuna's question, Krishna will go back to that same topic. Yeah. And then Bhagavad Gita becomes very interesting because we have to keep track what is happening. So now Sanjay is observing Krishna and Arjuna, what's going on between them. So he's explaining to Dhritarashtra, okay, Arjuna sat down, he's sad, and Krishna is smiling, and uh, till now we have to remember that Krishna and Arjuna, of course they have a relationship of friendship, and also Arjuna's charioteer is Krishna, so there are dual relationship. But when like we can also experience, like in our practical life, if we have our good friend as our companion, our colleague in office, then the conversation generally is at the friendship level, right? So Arjuna, Krishna also starts like laughing. It's not laughing exactly, but smiling about Arjuna's condition, like an Arjuna's talk. Like in friends, we say like, "Oh, you talk very intelligently, but your actions are not like that." We say to our friends like this, right? So Krishna is saying in the same way, you are talking very smartly, but I'm sorry, what you are lamenting, it's not worth what you are saying. So you look intelligent, but you don't behave intelligent, right? So that is the friendly talk that Krishna is giving. So uh, and Krishna also surprised, like, why, how come you, I've seen you very brave and killing so many enemies, and how this has happened to you? What is this? I didn't expect something like this to happen to you. So in the third or fourth verse he says like, oh, how this weakness has come to you, right? And then Arjuna again start the same points, right? How I can kill my uh, gurus and teachers and relatives, and better I live by begging, and I don't know what to do. And then finally he surrenders, right? And he said, see, I don't know what is to be done. I cannot take any decision. So now the relationship is changing. Now Arjun says, now see, you look me as your student, and you as a teacher, please give me instruction. What is best for me, right, in this situation? Okay. So I think it was right. Uh, uh, so he says, mm, seventh verse, right? I'm confused about my duty. I've lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Hmm? Now I'm your disciple. So one thing we have to learn here is, um, see, Krishna, Arjuna is asking Krishna as a teacher to tell him what is best for him. So whole Bhagavad Gita, after speaking all the Bhagavad Gita, at the end Krishna says, okay, have you heard? I have told you uh, what is best for you, and what is best as per scripture or Shastra. Now you decide what to do. Because Arjuna's request was, tell me what is best. he didn't tell Krishna to give me instructions. So he asked, tell me what is best for me. So Krishna spoke that much and then gave the decision making to Arjuna back. Right. So when we are having the conversations, right, with anyone, we have to see, right, what is the context. So many times it happens like that during the conversation, uh, we or somebody else just flows in the conversation, right? Just speaking. So the main topic is gone, but there is a lot of extra talking, and we lose the focus of the main topic. huh? Or what is expected from us if somebody asks us question, right? So we should be very precise. And Krishna is not interfering in the free will of Arjuna. He has to take decisions. So he's giving that uh, power or that legacy to Arjuna only at the end. So our because everybody has different way of thinking, then uh, what I feel in a particular situation may not be correct or may not be suitable as per the next person's nature or his ways of thinking or his understanding, right? So we cannot enforce somebody to do anything because we want him to do. It's very it's not correct, because of course in close relationships and in the families we tell, okay, you do this, you have to do this. Don't ask me correct or not, this is the best thing, you do it when we are very sure. But during conversing with other uh, friends or anybody, we are not always so much insisting, right? So we have to keep the space for the next person to think and take decisions. Of course, we can take our decision, but the next person also has that freedom. And one more thing important here is Arjuna is the greatest fighter, right? At that point during the of the war, right? Till that time, he has not lost any war, and all over the world, he's very famous and a great fighter and great kshatriya. But still, in front of his friend or Krishna, he's saying that I don't understand what to do. So this also needs a lot of courage when we say to say that I don't know what to do. Because generally, because of our self-respect, we can say, or our um, little ahankar, like we don't want to admit that I am confused. Many times I experience that uh, we understand that I cannot move forward from here, but we don't admit it, that I'm lost in my mind or in my thoughts. But for Arjuna is showing this, right? Even if you are greatest of great, if you are confused, you have to admit it honestly to your well-wishers, to get their guidance, get their help. Mm. And that is not a show of weakness, right? It is your strongness of your heart that you are admitting and you are ready to accept the instructions or the suggestions. So daily or many times, like we also get confused and we don't know what to do. Mm. So for that, of course, it's not always possible for us to talk with few people or guru or refer to shastra. But for that, our intelligence is given, and knowledge is given in Bhagavad Gita. So we study Bhagavad Gita, we have that in our mind and brain. And then when the situation arises, we have to try to refer what is the best possible options. And even if you don't understand, okay, I don't know what to do, then maybe you can take some time, right? In office or anywhere also, I see, like if somebody asks some question, right, in the meeting or anywhere, and you don't know the answer, but at that time, if you say, I don't know the answer right now, but I can come back on this, give me some time. It's generally, I have not seen people say, no, no, you have to answer now. No, people say, okay, you take your time, but come back by tomorrow, something like that. So decisions can be delayed if you are not sure to take guidance from somebody. And in very critical situations, right, when you are sick or when somebody is sick, at that time when it's a point that you have to decide now, then but at least we can take 5 seconds, 10 seconds gap before deciding, and just contemplate for that short time also what is best. Then we will intellectually, referring to the Shastra, we can take some proper decisions. But whenever possible, try to have few friends whom we can discuss with, right? So this is one very important lesson that Arjuna gives us, and also Krishna, right? Then in this chapter, then Krishna starts speaking the Sankhya Yoga or philosophy, right? Um, why he's saying that, Arjuna, you're talking nicely, but not intelligently. You are mistaken. So, from very basic, because of the when the person is in confusion, right? We should not assume that he will understand some higher level of thing, right? So Krishna starts from very basic thing. So Arjuna has studied all the Veda, all the Shastra, right? He is also a scholar in Shastra, but Krishna starts speaking from very basic. Arjuna, you are not body, you are soul. From that point, Krishna starts speaking and explaining the soul and characteristics of soul, properties of soul, how soul cannot be, uh, how soul is different, what are the characteristics of soul, how to understand the soul. So I think verse from 11 to 26 or 27, Krishna speaks about the soul and its eternity and how it cannot be. um so Krishna gives several examples like soul indestructible, is not born, cannot be killed, all this. And then around 26 or 27, um, Krishna says like, okay, even if you think that the soul will finish once the body is finished and then a new body will be taken, then also you don't have any reason to lament, because Bhishma or Drona, even if they die, they will receive a better body because they are fighting in the Dharma Yuddha. So in any case, you should not be lamenting for this. That's why he's saying like you are lamenting for a thing that is not fit for lamentation, and wise people don't do that. And Arjuna, I think you are wise, so why you are lamenting? What's the point in lamenting if the soul is eternal? Even if you kill Bhishma, Bhishma is a body, right? So if the body finishes, that's fine, but as a soul, Bhishma will go into a better body. Or if you are killed, if Arjuna is killed, even if Arjuna's body will be killed, Arjuna as such will remain because we all were there always. So Krishna refutes the arguments that were given by Arjuna in the first chapter. Like he first answers that you are putting a compassion at wrong place. It's not correct compassion. That's a very important point, right? Like, uh, if you see from a external view, like if somebody is suffering and you feel pain for that person, generally we say that it is a good characteristic that okay, if you it's a good character that you can see somebody suffering and you feel compassion for that, right? So yeah, so I means we should not compare that actually or always with Arjuna's situation, because Arjuna is sitting or is in the fighting, right? Everything, all the options have been tried and the final option remained was fight. And he is a Kshatriya, he has already come for fight, right? So at that point, compassion may not be suitable. But if you are walking on the road and you see any dog or any animal who is suffering, you feel bad. You try to help. That is a characteristic of a devotee, a good heart. Arjuna has good heart, right? So he felt compassion for his relatives. Right? If he was like hard-hearted, he will not feel that. Hmm. So like having a soft heart is also a quality. Gents like myself, I can say, like we are generally facing so many situations that our heart becomes the feelings are less, right? We just keep on tolerating so many things in office and outside, and several things are there. So by the situation we become very much hard many times. So this is one lesson for us also, you cannot uh, uh, deny your emotions. If you are emotional, yeah, you are emotional, you have to accept it, if possible, express it. But if not possible to express, at least understand that you are also a human and you have emotions. Like Arjuna is crying in the war in front of everyone, whatever may be the reason. If somebody sees Arjuna crying and putting the bow down, it's very shocking, right? But Arjuna is not worried about that. He is just admitting his real situation, what it is. I am confused, I cannot fight, I am crying. So that requires humility, that requires courage to admit this. So Arjuna has shown this quality. So we should be also uh, on the same line, try to express ourselves. So in till the 30th verse, mostly Krishna speaks about the existence of soul and how soul is different from the body. And then he gives examples like we change the clothes, the soul will go into the new body, and you should be happy that the old body is gone and the new body will come. So anyway, the same soul will be there in a new higher conscious body, so that is good. So even if you kill Bhishma or Drona, it's nothing wrong. They'll get a better body. Even if something happens to you, it's the same. You will also get better situation. So Krishna tries to convince Arjuna to fight with this Sankhya, philosophical way of talking. Right? Uh, the Sankhya means actually we try to disintegrate the subject into very small parts. So Krishna has disintegrated that body by separating the soul and putting the point that the soul is something different, and it never finishes. And there was a time when you were not there, and all those verses are there. But that is basically giving the uh, start of uh, base required to understand the Bhagavad Gita. So for us also, we have to, at least theoretically, we should understand that I am not body, I am the soul. Practically, it may be difficult, but it is possible. So Krishna tells all these things in the Bhagavad Gita, how we can experience that I am something different from this body. So there are many near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences. Examples are there on YouTube, uh, which give us a conviction that there is we are something different from what we feel looking at the body. We are different. So for that we need little bit practice and little bit higher consciousness to uh, understand the existence of soul. Hmm? And then when we see, when we theoretically or little bit practically understand that soul, or real existence, who we are, then actually the life should become very easy. Uh, but because of the ignorance, all the problems keep coming. But we will go into all these things from the verses after 30, right? How Krishna tries to answer all the questions put for all the arguments put forward by Arjuna. Hmm. So I think I will stop here. It's almost 20 minutes I was speaking. Sorry for that. It will be a little bit longer. But yeah, uh, yes, now it's open for discussion. So you can unmute, and if any questions or any points you want to add, we can add and keep the discussion going. Arti Mataji has raised her hand, so Yes, Mataji, you have some question?
Yes, Hari Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. My question here would be,
Mm-hmm,
you were saying like Arjuna, he even though he already came to the battlefield, he
mm-hmm,
still had the doubt in mind, and that's when he confessed to Krishna that he is feeling like compassion for these souls and he doesn't want to fight.
mm-hmm,
But Prabhuji, it's like Krishna came to restore dharma. Like that's the thing, right, Prabhuji? So he knows the bigger picture that these people have to be eliminated to restore dharma.
mm-hmm,
And in this war, actually, Bhima had a personal vengeance that he wanted to, like, he wanted revenge.
mm-hmm,
And Yudhishthir, being the very dharmic person, he knew that he had to fight. But
mm-hmm.
Arjun, did he waver because he had like no personal motivation in this war? Like he was not personally motivated by some reason. Is that why he was going on wavering, Prabhuji?
In one way, like Mataji, what you are mentioned, that angle is there, like because uh, when you don't have any, uh, because Arjuna has said, like, even if they kill me, I am okay, or
Hmm.
even if they win the war, I am okay. I will live by begging rather than killing them. So, yeah, we understand that Arjuna was not at that point of time thinking of maybe what has happened previously, right? And he was still ready to suffer more, right? After suffering a lot of, he was still. So he was not, uh, mm, of course, like Arjuna as a Kshatriya, brother of Yudhishthir, and Yudhishthir being their said king, right? So he has to follow his dharma, right? His dharma is to follow what Yudhishthir says and to fight. All that is there, but still at heart he was so clear that he became weak, right? Krishna uses the word weakness of heart, right? So his heart was soft, right? Though he was a Kshatriya. So at heart, he felt like I can live somehow or other, rather better than killing, right? So that is the one of the qualification that Arjuna had, right? The heart, which is ready to take the instructions. So that is when some instructions come to you, right? If you are hard, it's difficult to digest something coming from outside. So yeah, Arjuna, uh, of course, he wanted to take revenge on Dhritarashtra. So Arjuna has always said, "How can I kill Bhishma and Duryodhan or Krupacha, all his gurus, right? He has not said about Dhritarashtra or somebody, right? That is also a point, right, Mataji?
Yes,
He never,
Prabhuji, of course,
he
Prabhuji.
never said how I can kill Dhritarashtra. He never said it like that, right? Because
Hmm.
Dhritarashtra, he knew he's done adharma, right? But he was worried about his gurus and teachers, right? So at that moment of the battle, also he was able to differentiate. Hmm?
Right. Understood, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So that's a good, one way, good quality. But so in the next verses, it comes right. Bhishma
Mm-hmm.
in Mahabharata, he himself has said right uh, why he is on the Kaurava side, right? Because in the beginning, of course, he took vow and that he will always protect the dynasty and all that is there. But
Mm-hmm.
Bhishma was also said like because of the wealth, right?
Right.
He's so Bhishma, anyway, Bhishma admitted himself, and but still Arjuna was looking him as senior and guru. Na? So he on the battlefield also he was able. His consciousness was very clear, right? Still,
Understood, Prabhuji. Yes, I understand. Now I understand like where he mentions these like his superiors. Yes,
right? Right.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yeah. Any other points or any other like you while reading these verses, you feel like okay, this is very nice point that I should apply in my life, or any other observations that anybody has, please share. Mataji, Jayalakshmi Mataji, you were saying, right? You will share.
Hare Krishna. I have one question, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm.
In the verse 7, Arjuna surrenders to
Mm-hmm.
Krishna. So I understood from this verse, taking shelter to spiritual master is important.
Mm-hmm.
Then only we can progress in bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
If a person, although willing to do, unable to take a shelter,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual master, is it by karma or what is this? How we can take it?
Means finding a spiritual master or surrendering, something like that.
Yeah, initiation. Yeah.
Yeah, Mataji. So, like, initiation is Diksha Guru, right?
Mm.
So here we see Arjuna is surrendered. There is nothing like exactly Diksha or anything, right? He just
Yes,
surrendered.
yes,
It's
yes.
knowledge, right? So it is Shiksha Guru is asking what is best for me, right? Because Sandeep Muni is there different, right? Guru from them whom they have
Mm.
taken all the Shiksha and Dronacharya also, right? But here he is taking Shiksha from Krishna. What is best for me? His question is, can you please tell me what is best for me? Consider me as your disciple. So it's not, when we say disciple, it's not always a Diksha disciple. It can be Shiksha disciple also, right? So if we ask any question to anybody for their guidance or for their insights, then it is one way a relationship of teacher and student, but it's not always Diksha. It can be Shiksha. Many times it's Shiksha to learn what is better.
Okay, understood. So,
So,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So without initiation, a person can progress in bhakti.
Yeah,
That's
of course. Of course, of course, of course.
mm-hmm.
See, ISKCON, like Srila Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for everyone. Like
Oh.
the Acharya is always Shiksha Guru for everyone. And we follow the instructions of Acharya, then the result is guaranteed. Right? So, Shiksha Guru is able to deliver you if you follow him with proper knowledge. And basically now Kali Yuga, it's all about name, right? It's chanting the names of the Lord, right? That is the main thing in Kali Yuga. So if you get shiksha about the chanting of the names and then further knowledge, that qualifies you for. So because there is one this like Haridas Thakur, you know, right? He's Namacharya,
Yes.
but mention of Haridas Thakur Guru is not there, right? So he took all the shiksha, everything from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he is Namacharya, right? He is the personification of name in the Chaitanya Leela, right? So shiksha, and if you are sincerely chanting the names of the Lord, then you have full capacity and qualification to be get delivered, right? So 99% is our effort, and then Krishna's mercy, right?
Yes.
So Krishna's mercy, he can do anything, right? He will not see like you are Diksha. Yeah, you are qualified. I want to take you. That's all. He will give them.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
no problem. Any other points, Mataji, you shortlisted for these verses?
I liked the Dehinasminyata Deke, verse 13. Yeah, Komaram. It's very nice verse. Actually, when a person is in 30, 40, 50, can understand very well the explanation. I mean, we are young, we never feel. We will long when our grandma, they die, we feel, oh, they are old. We never feel the death of those things. When we reach 40, 50, we see the growth of our children and we get disease. Our parents may pass away or they have a health problem. A lot of we ourselves get problem. It's very nice verse, I felt. At least young age, I don't know, there are lucky people are got initiation. in young age itself. But when we reach 40, it's very, very valuable time we should not waste. Yeah, to get in Krishna consciousness. It make us to realize this verse. I felt that.
Very nice. Yeah. Actually, just before the class, I was talking one of my friend in Bangalore. Okay. So he's also like nearing 50s now, and he's already practicing chanting for quite some time. And he was telling his recent experience, right, about his father. So his father is sick now. Okay, for last 3 months, like he was telling, like almost like 1.5 year or something. He's always sick. He had heart attack and all. Then now he has paralysis attack. Okay, so last 3 months he said my father is completely bedridden. He cannot do anything. He's losing his memory. Sometimes he cannot recognize people, and his body, of course, he cannot do anything by himself, and he's like this for quite some time now, few months. So we were just talking the same thing. Dad, I mean, he was telling, like, looking at my father's situation now, I feel like, okay, so is what is this situation of old age now? How, even if you have body, you have hands, you have everything, but the senses stop working, the mind stops, the intelligence stops. You cannot recognize people. Sometimes you cannot see. So you have eyes, but the eyes will not do the eyes function, right? To see the people. Even if the eyes can see, they cannot function, or they cannot connect to mind or intelligence. Who is this person? So he was saying, like, oh, what is this situation? Like, it's like, uh, he didn't say like exactly like it's a fearful, but was saying like it's an eye-opener situation for me when I see this, because uh, we don't know future, right? What will happen?
Yes.
So he was saying like it's very crucial, like every moment. Uh, we don't know. So every moment we have to utilize properly. Right? And one more point we discuss is like we take so many things for granted, right? Though Krishna says that Kaumaram Yavaram Jara Tasa Dehantar Prati, you will die and you will have another body. The soul will go into another body. Krishna is saying this. But what we have taken for granted, if I am not serious, many times I am busy or I am sleepy, and then I'm chanting, but I'm not focused, or I'm thinking of so many different things. Why? Because I've not realized the urgency of time, right? That any moment can be the last moment, right? So from that angle, you should be always ready, right? To be full focused, but we are not. Why? Because we have taken things for granted that, oh, okay, Krishna says like this, but everybody else will die, but I may not die next moment. Right? So that is a misconception or misunderstanding that we are doing. That it will not happen to me. That's one way, not good, and because that removes the sense of urgency, of chanting or anything. So yeah, we have to be, like you said, have to be very careful and attentive every moment. Every
Yes.
moment, but difficult.
Yes.
Difficult to be like that, but
Yes.
we should try at least.
And the 14th verse is nice. The matras parsas kaunteya. That is where, I mean, like happiness, distress comes like a summer and winter season. They are temporary. That is true. When we are in really distress, it gives like encouragement. Okay, I can pass through somehow. Krishna is telling me to have tolerance.
Yeah, Mataji. This verse, go ahead.
No, sorry. Please explain.
No, in this verse, very important, like first two words, matra sparsas tu kaunteya.
Shitoshna
So,
Sukhada.
matra sparsha. Sparsha means touch, right? Sparsha means touch. So, how Krishna is nicely explaining, like if you like if there is fire or there is a hot pot, right? So if I want to check if it is hot or not, what I will do, I will touch it, right? Or I will take my hand close to that. And then if I feel heat, then I say, oh, it is hot. If I don't feel anything, I take my hand little bit more further and I try to touch that pot. And if I can touch that pot completely, then I say, oh, it's cold, right? So this is what Krishna is, matra sparsha. So the senses, like in this case, our skin, right? Our skin experiences the heat or cold, right? And then I start saying, oh, it is very hot, it is very hot. So the senses coming with the sense object. So if I say my hand coming in touch with the hot pot, then I say it is hot. So the my hand is sense and the sense object is say that pot, particular pot, right? So that way, when or sometimes there is no sparsha, right? But the senses operate. So how now I am sitting in front inside the house, and if say suddenly starts snowing outside, oh, then I will say, oh, it is cold, it is cold. So I am not doing any sparsha there to um, snow or something, but my skin can get the sense of coldness, and my eyes can see, oh, it is snowing. That means it's very cold. Krishna is telling, right, all this shitoshna dukkha, heat and cold, is just the senses coming in contact with the sense objects. And then we feel it is hot and it is cold. But so similarly, where the our dukkha and sukha, uh, they also come. And we get involved in that through our senses. Now, like something happens, then I feel bad because I'm attached to somebody or something like that. So our senses, including mind, gets in connection with that, and then we feel pain or grief. So one way of it is like, of course, in Tokyo also, or if you see the weather is coming now, it is today is hot, right? Yesterday was not so hot, so today is hot. So what we have done, we have changed our lifestyle, we have changed our clothes, or maybe start fan. That's it. So, but I can say two times, oh, it is very hot, it is very hot, but I'm not doing anything extra. I'm just adjusting myself, right? So similarly, Krishna is saying just tolerate, right? These things will come and go, distress and all these things. Okay? So one way of looking at is, okay, now the stress is there, but it will go, and then pleasure will come. But ideally, uh, we should not wait for pleasure. Okay, we should. What is pleasure? Actually, it is something that is happening as per our thought or our wish. Then we feel happy. That is pleasure. But Krishna is telling, no, you don't get attached to pleasure also, pain also. No, you tolerate both the things. So that's why it's very interesting, like what Krishna is telling to Arjuna, and of course to all of us. So I also like the matra sparshas too, sparsha word.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm.
Prabhuji, if you don't mind, in the verse 2.7, Prabhupada uses the word miserly weakness.
Mhm.
A person in the verse he says like the kripanas or the miserly persons, they waste their time in being overly affectionate for the family, society and all that, right, Prabhuji? But
Mm.
actually I thought a miserly person is like a kanjus person. um can
Uh,
you please explain this, Prabhuji, like how this is different?
yeah. So one way of what you mentioned is like in a very common language we say, yeah, miserly means a conjuice person. He don't spend, right? Or whose hand is not free, something like that, right, Mataji?
Right, correct, Prabhuji, correct.
So he's very controlled one in type of this. But here the meaning is different, right? Here it is saying like you are weak, right?
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
you are weak of heartness, right? Lost all composure, of miserly weakness. Yeah. So in these words, like if you don't mind, I will just read
Sure, Prabhuji.
translation by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
By my nature has been overcome by weakness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is what, and my mind is bewildered about that. I ask, what is best? Please tell me with certainty. I am your student. Please instruct me who have surrendered to you. Okay, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, like, my nature has overcome by weakness. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
His weakness is Arjuna as Kshatriya is very brave, right?
Correct, Prabhuji.
And in decision making and fighting everything, right? But
Yes, Prabhuji.
that nature is overcome by his weakness.
I understand, Prabhuji. Mm-hmm.
So that is miserly because that is not suitable for him. As a Arjuna, as a fighter, this weakness is not suitable for him. So Srila Prabhupada uses very clear word, miserly weakness, because that's a wrong place you have become weak, na? And
Right.
which is against your nature and against your dharma, both. So it is miserly that nobody will accept it, or nobody will acknowledge it. That is a way of looking at it.
Understood, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No problem. Dosha, karpanya dosha. Very nice. Each word is like Bhagavad Gita. That's why, sometimes I use this Vishwanath Thakur Bhagavad Gita. It's translated by Manuswami. So
okay, Prabhuji. Mm-hmm.
So of course, Srila Prabhupada also refers Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan. Right? In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, we have seen, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
To Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, who presented so nicely Govinda Bhashya commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, Baldev Vidyabhushan and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they have all commented on Bhagavad Gita, right? So sometimes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also Acharya. So sometimes I use that translation also. But Srila Prabhupada has given the translation and the purpose very much suitable to the current situation, basically situation in 70s.
Yes, Prabhuji, correct, Prabhuji.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, so we can relate very easily what Srila Prabhupada writes. Na? So that's the advantage of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and translation and purpose. Na?
Of course, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is mostly completely from the bhakti point of view. Na? It means his intellectual verses also Thakur will explain from bhakti angle. So that's why sometimes I like to read that conversation. It's very interesting, actually.
I understand, Prabhuji. That's really nice.
Yeah. Thank you for this question and comment. Any other thing we can learn? Yeah. These are the characteristics of soul, right? What is soul? So when initially I read Bhagavad Gita, then I say how it is like soul cannot be burnt or wind or nothing can touch. And then when I understood the size of the soul, then I got the point. Oh, that is the thing that it's not. We cannot comprehend the soul. That's the difficulty because of our perception of eyes and our mind. We are too much attached to the gross thing. So we cannot imagine such a small thing. So I got one question in one of the class, how I will understand the soul, that the consciousness is coming from soul. How such a small But one example is if you are sick, we take medicine, right? We take a tablet. So we take tablet from our mouth, then it goes in our stomach, right? Somewhere, I don't know where it goes. Somewhere it goes. But even if I have pain in my hand or my head or my leg, I take tablet in my stomach, right? But what is required to recover from that pain, it flows there, right? How it flows? It flows through that energy, right? Energy, pran, vayu, what we have, and blood is circulating. So the body itself is an intelligent machine, right? So it understands, oh, this some content has come, it has to go to right hand, so it goes, right? So if a simple medicine can work like this, why can the soul have the consciousness and drive all our body, right? So it's very crude example to understand how the soul's consciousness is flowing in the body, right? Okay, any other points or anything? Just close. But I think next week we can take verses from 31 to I think 53, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we can take from 30 to 53 because it will cover like Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, in these 23 verses, right? And then Arjuna asks question, right? So the topic will be stopped there because Arjuna's question will come. We can take in the next part. Yeah. Okay, Riska. So 32. Let's study 30 to 53. This week and next week we can again come back. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. And if you want to involve somebody, right? Because this is discussion, this is not like somebody speaking or somebody, you can ask anything. We can, if you want somebody to add, please tell me or Jayashree, okay, we can add. Any person is no problem. Okay. Don't hesitate. It's for everyone and we have to learn together. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for nice questions and nice discussions and nice points. I really enjoy this on Saturday night. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.